and welcome to the Binge Thinker episode 50. Time to raise the bat in cricket terms. My name is Jamil Raymond. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here as always. On today's episode, we are going to go into a little deep dive into journaling. Journaling for the practice of self-observation, self-awareness, and for finding purpose. Now, we haven't really talked about the mental systems the last couple of weeks because we've been distracted by AI. But talking about mental health systems, I want to get back into that. And the reason why I think this is super important and to dive into it, to dedicate an episode to it, because I think it's a free, fantastic tool. I really should say fantastic free tool, because it's not, the free part is not the biggest value. But I just think it's a fantastic tool that costs virtually nothing to help optimize your life, help self-reflect, help cultivate a better understanding of yourself, which is really, really important in the transformation journey. I wouldn't have known what to improve in my life and iterate on without reflecting and thinking and knowing what I knew what is inherently needed to be fixed in my life. So we'll be going through in detail what I actually do for my journaling practice every single day, morning and night, and talking about the hows and the whys. And we'll do a little bit of a focus piece on trying to find purpose using journaling and just using it to realign yourself energetically to give yourself some direction in life, which I think a lot of people are lacking at the moment and would absolutely love to have. So without further ado, let's kick things off. Let's talk about the why of journaling. With the why of journaling, for me, it's that documentation. It is one of my favorite lines is, you cannot improve what you cannot measure, right? In life, in life, particularly in marketing terms, which is not life, there are two types of data you can collect in the marketing world. There is quantitative data and qualitative data. Quantitative data is pretty straightforward. It's metrics. It's based on quantity. There's lots of quantitative data in physical health, right? How many calories did you consume? How many reps did you do? Qualitative data is really about sentiment and feeling of the individual, which does not have, any markers of indication. We might have biomarkers and things like that, but it really is about individuals expressing how they feel because there's so many variables in their response to a stimuli or in response to whatever they're trying to give feedback on, to really pick apart. So in marketing terms, it's a lot harder to collect, but it can provide a lot more insight about how a individual or a customer reacts to a product. And that's very important because it's really all about customer sentiment towards a product or a solution that makes them more inclined to buy. On the non-topical and non-marketing side of things, capturing qualitative data is really important because most of our perceptions in life are influenced by qualitative data, i.e., emotions, feelings that cannot be put into a numerical structure. Asking someone how you feel out of 10 is not going to give you as much information as tell me how you really feel, right? So journaling is a fantastic way to start capturing qualitative data about your life, structuring it in a way where you start to uncover patterns, you can start to orient yourself towards goals, you can just self-reflect and again, potentially find purpose in your daily activities by cultivating a practice of interoception, which we talked about in the previous episode, and then self-reflection, which is a huge part of the self-improvement process. So that's the journaling, that's the why of journaling. Some of the benefits to journaling and why I think it's a really powerful tool is it's a very effective way to reprogram your subconscious mind. It's a great way to organize your thoughts positively, reframe your perspective on life, and then download them into your subconscious while you are asleep. When we journal in the first 10 minutes, in the last 10 minutes of our day if we can. This opens up the window of, susceptibility to our subconscious. When we are just first waking up and going to bed, we open up our delta and our theta waves, which are lower frequencies within the brain activity that are more impactful towards our subconscious, right? You're getting into the debug mode and, the DOS system or the task manager of your brain. This is something that's been realized by Dr. Joe Dispenza, which is influencing a fair bit of this work around transforming your mind and transforming your perspective on life. So being able to, this is a bit of a biohack, really. Being able to cultivate your thoughts and program yourself and consciously think of positive things in your life and positively think about the direction you're taking yourself and aligning that in a window where you are more prone to downloading that data into your brain is really useful, right? This is how we can get into the depth of ourselves and really transform that inner self, which is what we've probably been missing in our life, is that self-cultivation. So by having, a place to document your feelings, create direction, create a plan for yourself, being able to practice this feeling of interoception of your emotions, again, creating that structure for you to improve upon every single day. And by, again, collecting your thoughts, there's another great saying that I think about: failing to prepare is preparing to fail. If you do not have a plan in life, if you do not have direction, you're gonna start floating around. It's probably a big part of the problem that we've all felt in our lives, is that directionlessness, right? Having no wind to cast your sail against. So by pushing yourself and putting yourself into action, by converting your intentions into actions, into something that's small and bite-sized, getting yourself 1% better every day and having a place to document that, creating momentum in your life, creating direction for yourself, immensely powerful. We'll talk about it more when we go through it step by step. Another great practice of journaling is, again, just practicing thinking positively, right? We are so susceptible to being a self-harsh inner critic, and very often we beat ourselves up way more than anyone else really could in our lives. So by challenging the status quo of our perspectives, of our survival mindsets, by just putting the practice of finding out what's good in our days, what's good in our lives, we start to put the perpetuation of positivity forward. Right? Instead of being mired in our negative thoughts and letting all that negative energy drag us down, we are changing the way that we think about ourselves and think about a perspective on life towards abundance, towards growth. And you need to consciously practice that. It doesn't happen overnight. It really all starts with the power of the mind, and you have that power of the mind, and you need to practice generating that power through deliberate practice. Simple. I think and another great practice in the process of journaling, which is probably the core of it, is being able to practice utilizing your intuition and utilizing your gut, and searching for these seeds and these little hints and clues towards purpose, towards direction. A key part of the practice of journaling, which we'll get into later, is really, again, documenting that process of the search, of, sort of mapping out your tones and your feeling tones and your emotions, and just being able to put them out and visualize them and put them into a means that's more permanent, because we go through so many thoughts and emotions throughout the day that if you don't sit back and actually observe them, then you're never going to have that opportunity to improve on them, because they're just gone, right? It's particularly if you are early in the mindfulness practice, you're not going to really, sorry, one sec, if a moment, I'm getting a phone call, ignore. Where was I? Oh yeah, if you are early in your mindfulness practice, you're very likely not keeping track of all the time you've gotten angry or sad or felt good in your day. You're just sort of going through the motions. Maybe you're too caught up in something that's really triggered you throughout the day to not think about the good things that are happening in your life around that. So by getting into this practice, and having conscious, deliberate action, being logical, being persistent, and just spilling these guts out, spilling your emotions out into somewhere that you can, piece them together, reframe them, just observe them, you're going to put yourself in a much better position to build upon. And yeah, like I said, I think it's a fantastic practice. It costs practically nothing. It costs, a journal and a quick trip to Officeworks. Maybe you get a free book from someone, who knows? And you can just do this for nothing and start to put yourself in perpetual motion. So those are the benefits, absolutely immense. One of the key tools that I have found for purpose, I don't think I would have gotten into recognizing how much I love mentoring and building the sales course because I like spending time with people and teaching them things if I didn't journal this over the last 3 years and go, hey, holy shit, I'm writing down spending time and mentoring people and teaching people a lot, right? So that's why I'm bringing this to you, the good bingers, about how you can use this tool for yourself. And yeah, without further ado, let's kick this off, and we're going to get funky with some camera work. So bear with me in a sec, guys, but enjoy. So now we're up to the how section of how to journal. This is what I do every single day, morning and night. The first and last 10 to 15 minutes of my day, reflection, gratitude, all the bits and bobs that I think has been immense towards me building my skills and my capabilities now and probably forever on as well. So how it starts is pretty straightforward. You can't journal without a journal. So what I've got here is just a A5 Moleskine journal. I used to just buy the nice little leather-bound ones from Officeworks or any stationery shop. Choose whatever you like. If you want to document more of your process, or you're more of a writer, you want to put some more things out there, get an A4. It's just, a nice simple book where you can document and put things down. Now, also, I do recommend writing things down as opposed to typing them out. There was this study done somewhere, I should probably get some more information on it, that showed that rote learning through reading and writing actually integrates knowledge and information into your brain better than typing it out digitally. Something about including all the senses, the tactile aspect of it. Generally, when you are reading something, you're also, even if you're not reading it out loud, you're actually repeating the words in your brain at a very, very tiny amount. So they've done studies where your vocal cords are actually mimicking your voice of your inner monologue. So then your body is tactily responding to those thoughts in your body. Another reason why good thoughts, positive thoughts, and steering away from negative thoughts is very crucial, because you are literally resonating those thoughts within your body. Very important stuff. So with the journal, like I said, A5 every morning, first 10 minutes of the day. So first thing that I'm doing here on my journal, I date, and today's one, then we kick off with the first one, which is dreams. So what I do here, I got this from Jim Kwik. Jim Kwik is, I don't know if he's a scientist, he probably is a scientist, but he's this great guy that had a neurological condition, a learning disability growing up, and then turned his learning disability into a superpower. He got really deep about how to learn and the skills around cognitive meta skills, like learning and learning how you learn. He's got a great book called Limitless, where I got a few of these bits and pieces about journaling. But with the dreams component, it's really about interpreting your dreams, understanding why you're having dreams, finding recurring thoughts or memories or dreams, understanding the symbolism behind a lot of your thoughts. What we've understood from Jungian psychology is that symbolism is present in our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind likes to use symbols in the outside world as interpretations of our inner monologue, our inner capabilities, our inner wisdom. So just putting down a sentence over here of any recurring dreams that you've had, good or bad, it's just really about documenting things, right? The whole purpose of journaling really is about the documentation, which I probably mentioned earlier in the pod. Just being able to capture qualitative data that you cannot measure with a metric, with a number, right? It's just about getting information on a page like a whiteboard and being able to connect the dots of this information somewhere that you can look back on and use to track. So dreams, a sentence or two. I'm a some person that doesn't really remember a lot of dreams. The reason why I've realized, though, is because from the weed smoking, I've noticed that if I do have THC when if I smoke and I go to bed, unless I'm really not that high anymore, it will impede my lower REM sleep and I will have less dreams. When I have nights off weed, if I take CBD or something else and I'm taking the theanine, which is part of my sleep stack, then I will have quite vivid dreams and remember them a lot more. But even with the dreams that I do remember, sometimes I can just forget them because my brain's already full with thoughts for the day before I've gotten time to journal them down. So, for example, today I was not home and I can't remember my dreams. So I just put can't remember. But again, just one sentence, a couple of notes. Again, if you want to expand on it, go for it. Go for your life. The next point that I put down is my gratitude points, which are, I write them in a sentence called, today I am grateful for. So if you're just listening to the audio, I'm writing this down as I talk. And if you are watching the video, I apologize because I have dog shit handwriting. But with the today I am grateful for, I am noting down 3 things that I am grateful for in the day. It can be small, right? It doesn't have to be immense, doesn't have to be this huge moment, but it's really about just conditioning the mind and practicing finding positive things in your world, in your life, something that you remember and reflect upon. That's what's really important, is conditioning your mind to think positively and abundantly. So, when you think about these gratitude points, it can be really simple, but you really want to feel the gratitude. You really want to feel like, if you've had a situation where someone's looked out for you and you really appreciate their help and you can feel that nice warmth, that sensation of gratitude, it's really important to feel that and channel that, because this is another part of the practice as well, is being able to articulate and channel positive feelings and then bring them into alignment with your thoughts later on as you manifest for greatness. So again, 3 little things that you're grateful for. Just 1, 2, 3. I'll just do like that. So I'll just put a couple of lines there of the 3 things that I'm grateful for. It can be, how nice today's weather is. It can be, something going my way. It can be someone's treated me really nice. Just jot them down, blah, blah, blah. As long as you are feeling it, right? You really do notice that feeling tone when you write it down. So another reason why that having this and this gratitude practice is really important. This is something that's taught by Joe Dispenza, or at least I learned it from Dr. Joe, which is that gratitude is the gateway to receivership. So when we have these feelings of alignment and, these inner energetic sensations that we're feeling good and positive about the world and the universe is working in our favor, that's an alignment of your emotions that are usually stored in your heart, and then your thoughts that are usually stored in your head. So by having these alignments and practicing getting those states and being able to accumulate those states, you basically are opening the heart to receivership, opening the mind to possibility of things going your way, as opposed to the survival mindset that a lot of people have, that things are working against them and the world is conspiring against you. The opposite of, paranoia is common. The antithesis of that is pronoia. And the idea is to get yourself into a mental perspective of pronoia, where you can see the world and believe that it is working in your favor by channeling gratitude for the universe, practicing what is important, or practicing seeing the good things in your life that the universe has brought you. This is the way that you align that yourself with gratitude. You reinforce this idea that things are working in your favor, and then you are more practical about the way you approach the world and how you approach life, because you think things are going to be great in your actions and your intentions when you go out in your daily life. So gratitude, extremely important. So being grateful all the time. So the next point is, it's about action and intention. Okay, so the next point that I write down is, what 1% can I focus on today? And what this is, again, is 3 points that I put down about 3 actions, 3 tasks in my day that I want to get achieved, right? It's really about cultivating momentum, articulating your attention into action for the day to keep the needle moving. These 1%ers, again, 1% small, doesn't have to be anything earth-shattering, doesn't have to be a massive action, particularly when you're starting out in this practice and process. It really is about just that conscious intention to do something positive with your day that builds you up in a direction that you want to go. Is it a project that you're working on? Do you have to do something for work, right? Do you have to tick a couple of boxes to get someone off your back, or to win a deal, or just anything that is giving you that feeling of progress in what you're doing in life, right? We are starting to channel using dopamine, the reward molecule, in your favor, being able to utilize it, get that little jolt of energy when you've ticked something off. Great, I've done something today, particularly if you are someone that's very, very stagnant. Just getting used to getting some wins on the board, planning your day out, giving yourself some direction, extremely important. Particularly if you're a dude. Direction is one of the most critical things for determining purpose in a man. We are directional beings, and if you can create direction for yourself, even if you do feel a little bit lost, it's immensely powerful to just start, and the path will reveal itself as you go along. We'll dig into that a little bit further on when we talk about purposeful stuff. And then the next point that I write down is today I am. Right? And by today I am, this is a practice of searching your feeling tones in your interoception, something we talked about in the mindfulness episode. Again, feeling into your body, being able to articulate how you're feeling inside. And these are breadcrumbs, again, for parts of your life that may need a little bit of attention, or elements of your life that might need a little bit of work. If you are constantly waking up groggy, if you are waking up not feeling motivated, if you're waking up angry, right? Without having this qualitative information, by journaling this down, just going, I am angry, I am sad, whatever it may be. You won't really take notice of these tones and these emotions in your life without observing them and having a place that keeps them accountable, because you have so many thoughts and emotions in your day that it's hard to keep track of all this stuff at once. And that's why this self-reflection is so important, because you start to generate pattern recognition in your thoughts and your actions and your beliefs. So it's really just an expanded version of saying, how are you, right? How are you feeling? And once you answer that question, even to yourself, that is a point of meditation or reflection, because you're going, hey, I've woken up sad for the last 4 days now. What's going on? Why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling demotivated? Why is it such an effort to drag myself out of bed and do this in the first 15 minutes of my day every day? Do I always wake up dragging myself out of bed? Does that mean I'm motivated to get through my day and live my life in its current state? And that's where this meditative and self-reflective process comes from, is actually just being accountable for your feelings by identifying them, and then them being the source of self-reflection later on. But you cannot improve what you cannot measure, hence why we have the journal. So that's what happens in the first 10 minutes of the day, right? These 4 main points: your dreams, what are you grateful for, what can I focus on, what are my feeling tones? So in the last 15 minutes of your day, this is about reflection of what you've done in the day, okay? So you come in, again, just before you go to bed, just as you're winding up, you pull your journal out and you go, okay, I've done my journal. What have I done today? Have I ticked all these 3 things off in the day? Great. What I like to do, give myself a little bit of an extra boost. I go, great day. And what that does is goes, hey, it's like a little sticker when you're a kid, good work. You can feel confident and you can feel good about the fact that you've achieved something. You've actually put one foot in front of the other as far as intentional practice in your life about getting shit done for yourself, which can be immensely rewarding. And Oftentimes, when you do not feel motivated and you do not feel like you can get things done in your life, you don't have that belief system, it's because you haven't proven to yourself that you have your own self-integrity. What do I mean by that? You don't back yourself in to believe yourself when you say you're going to do something, because you've betrayed your own habits with, food or porn or whatever it is that you comfort yourself with, instead of actually going through the work of working through the pain, the muck of your past, etc., etc. So if you tick those off, great. If you don't tick one off, okay, maybe that goes to tomorrow. If you don't tick it off over a few days, then that's a question mark, right? It's like another point of self-reflection. Is this thing that I keep delaying, is this something that's important to me? Is this something, why am I dreading this? What's the resistance? Do I think it's too complex? Again, this is the points of reflection you get from the qualitative data by keeping it in one place. So a great way to reflect on your actions. Don't beat yourself up too much either. Remember, we need to keep reinforcing positive behaviors. Don't immediately go to negativity. Don't go to judgment. Go to curiosity. Ask why you're not doing these things, right? We want to minimize the judgment as much as we can and minimize that harsh inner critic that is so easily dominant in our day-to-day lives, particularly as you're going through this process of transformation, unlearning, is minimize the judgments, because you're just wasting your mental energy in negative energy, right? You have a certain amount per day. We spend it doing the things we like and don't like in life. There's plenty of things in life that will give us negative energy and that we'll have to slowly eradicate over time as much as we can. So don't do yourself a disservice by getting more critical of yourself, and be your own best friend. So that's reflection of the actions we've taken today. And then what I like to do is something called something great that happened today. And why that is good and why I use that, again, it's the same reason as the gratitude practice. And what that is reflecting on your day and practicing the good things in your life, practicing remembering what's positive, practicing conditioning yourself to finding the positive things in life. It doesn't have to be big. It can be small. It can be a little win. It can be, having a great conversation with someone. It can be getting that parcel you're looking forward to. It's just those little bits of joy. Again, just reconditioning your mind to look for the good instead of the bad. And why we do this in that last 15-minute window, as you mentioned before, it's a perfect time to condition and download practicing positivity and downloading it into your subconscious where it needs it the most. This is not about affecting your executive conscious mind. This is about rewiring your previous subconscious mind, which has been filled with belief systems and bullshit and trauma from yesterday before you were even aware of it. And now you've got to clean it out. And you clean that out and replace it with some more positive behaviors. So again, lots of little wins, as many as you want to write down. Sometimes you're not going to have a great day. And sometimes you might just go, yeah, not that much. Or, today kind of sucked. And that's perfectly fine. There are going to be plenty of bad days. The idea is, as long as you know there are bad days, what's the flip side? Knowing that tomorrow is going to be better, right? Or if it's, you're going through a real rut, acknowledging that there is this rhythm to life and things will be shit now, but they will get better. That's the rhythm and principle. It's a principle of rhythm, which is part of the Hermetic principles, which we'll talk about in a different episode. And then the next thing that I do is, I'll put it down here. Today, I learned. And what that is, again, it's a nice little reflection on the day. What is something that I took away from today? Was there a learning moment? Was there a teachable moment? It's a nice way to put a little bow around your day. What have you learned from this experience? I'm a big believer in something that if you're not winning, you're learning. So being able to take a lesson out of the day, it makes it valuable. It makes it useful. You don't feel like, you haven't accomplished something. And that's probably been a big part of, again, why people do feel so demotivated, is because they just don't feel like they're capable in their own lives. So if you are able to take something away from the day, that's just a good way to sink feedback into your brain. And then hopefully your conscious mind's a little bit smarter tomorrow and you don't make that mistake again. Or you actually integrate that learning and put it into your life. Now, that's a good one if you're more of a reflector, and someone that needs to probably a bit more advanced in the journaling process. If you are early in the journaling process and you were just starting out, and you are particularly someone that doesn't have a lot of direction in their lives, what I would do instead is I would put, I felt most empowered when. So I'll put that down here. Oops. There you go. You can see that I'm much a typer and not a writer. Got the doctor's scribble going. And this is the secret sauce in journaling, in my opinion. Right, guys? It is, let me see if I can bring that up. Hang on. Kind of screwed that up. I'm just rocking around with these angles. There you go. It's not going to work out well, but we'll fix that. So, the idea behind this, guys, is again, being able to track these feeling tones in your body, in your day, of the energy, the positive energy in your life. I'm going to just fix this up if I can, give it a little bit more space. Yeah, that'll have to do. So with this feeling this most empowered when, it's very similar to the today I am part, right? The trying to understand the emotions that you've got in your body, searching yourself, searching your day for the good things, for the energy, the things that gave you positive energy in your day. And these positive moments, whether you be talking to someone or there's a certain topic, or there are periods of the day where the time flew because you were flowing and you're having fun, these are the real breadcrumbs to finding purpose in your day. Why? One of my biggest beliefs is, one of my mantras, which is passion is free energy. If you can find elements of your day that you are passionate about, that energize you, that again, make that time fly, these are the breadcrumbs to, passion. These are the breadcrumbs to purpose, right? Being able to hone in on these feeling tones in your day and sort of dig and expand on that. That's a big part of the process of self-discovery for me, is me just going, what did I like about my day the most? How can I capitalize on doing those things more? And why? Why do I think I really enjoy doing these things? Like, I would have never realized that I've, spent dozens of hours, if not more, mentoring and spending time with people, teaching them things because I really enjoy just teaching them. If I didn't reflect on the fact that I go, fuck, I've actually spent a lot of time enjoying this process. And then again, once you dig into that energy, it's potent, right? It's passion. We're constantly searching for relief and relief from the pain that we feel. And then the antithesis of that is finding pleasure in the things that drive us. That's what dopamine is for. And men, being directional creatures, we love dopamine, right? Dopamine and testosterone combined together, one of the most powerful forces of chemicals in the world. Because as particularly men find empowerment in their energies and in their day, you run towards it. You think about guys that are testosterone driven and, meaty guys. The most easiest example of this would be something like lifting weights, right? Once guys see the benefits in the gym, they get the pump going, they're feeling stronger, you pursue the resistance. You want to work harder. You want to get stronger. you want to lift those weights, even to a point where you get to the extreme end and you see bodybuilders and powerlifters that are fucking moving hundreds of kilos at once. Why? Because we enjoy the direction, we enjoy the resistance, and we enjoy the struggle. There is a degree of mental clarity and mental aggression that comes from a man with direction, a man with purpose. Right? And I'm sure this does apply to women too, because they do have a small amount of testosterone in their body, and they definitely have that drive. We have, women that have varying degrees of masculinity. So, but I only can talk from the masculine perspective here because I'm a dude. So, searching for those tones. So, it's sort of like gold prospecting in a way. You're sort of like searching yourself. There's there's metal detectors. The guys walking around with like the minesweeper in the middle of the fucking bush, something like that. It's a lot like that. It is going through your day, sweeping through your day, trying to find little bips of, hey, this is actually pretty cool. And I really enjoyed this. And then digging, and just digging, and hopefully you'll find some gold in there. Now, I don't think that this will give you a silver platter, your purpose and your direction, but I guarantee this will give you a lot more revelations, a lot more self-discovery in just 30 days of doing this process. I really, really do believe that. Practicing this, this diarization, this journaling now, for 30 days, just 20 minutes every day, 10 in the morning, 10 at night, getting your thoughts together, trying to keep those positive thoughts as you go to bed, trying to be grateful, thinking of those great moments as you try and go to sleep, to again, download those into your subconscious and letting, your body and your mind do the work whilst you're asleep, just churning and burning all the information that it's processed from the day. So that's journaling in a nutshell, guys, for me. I hope it gives you a lot of purpose and direction yourselves. If you've got any questions in relation to that, hit up the DMs, hit up the comment section of YouTube, if whatever you need. I do respond on there. But this practice, extremely powerful, super cheap. All you need is a journal and a pen and just investing some time into yourself, right? And that's why I made this number 2 in the mental health systems, because of the cost. Next week, we'll probably talk about therapy and other practices that do cost a bit more money, but these are the things that you could do for virtually nothing that have a lot of return on investment. 1, to get your emotional states in order, give yourself direction, give yourself intention. And then number 2, which is extremely important though, finding that empowerment, finding that passion, finding that, purpose. There it is. Jeez. And look, that's the podcast for this week, guys. Hopefully you've taken something from this. Something to note, the mailing list competition, I'm going to extend it out to May 13th, Saturday, May 13th. The reason is I've been building my website, which is finally out now, so go check it out on jamiljraymond.com. I'm just trying to build all my systems together for getting content out when it comes to the mailing list and a newsletter and all that. I've been a bit slack because I've been sick. So I'm going to extend it out for another 2 weeks. So really simple. Sign up for the mailing list. Look for my Linktree. Look for my website. Google me. You probably have me on some sort of socials by now. There'll be a link in all of my socials to sign up for the mailing list. That's all you need to do because this mailing list is coming from scratch. And then, you get an opportunity, a chance to win a year's supply of Waking Up. It's worth, I Googled it, it's worth $180 for a 12-month subscription. And guys, it's not about the money, it's about the tool, it's about the capabilities it provides to, again, make a friend of your mind, give yourself clarity, get rid of the noise in your head, and, put you on a fantastically mindful journey and working towards your higher self, right? So all you have to do, sign up for the mailing list. I will do a newsletter, in the coming weeks, and I will start to document a lot more of these systems and processes that we talked about in the pod. So you don't have to come back to the pod. You can just have it in your email sitting somewhere, chuck it in Notion, chuck it in your note-taking app, wherever you keep your little gems of insight for later, okay? If you love what I'm doing here, guys, again, like, subscribe, share this with a friend on the YouTubes, on all the platforms. You guys get it. This is not the fucking first podcast you've listened to, and hopefully it won't be the last. That's it for this week, bingers. Thank you so much, as always, for your time and attention, and I will see you next week. Ciao for now.